The fourth topic. Again, there is an explanation of this in a guide for youth. One time, I was asked the following question by the brothers who assist me. For 50 days now and now 7 years have passed. This refers to 1946. You have asked nothing at all about this ghastly world war, which has plunged the whole world into chaos and is closely connected with the fate of the Islamic world, nor have you been curious about it. Whereas some religious and learned persons are leaving the congregation in the mosques and racing to listen to the radio. Is there some event more momentous than the war? Or is it harmful in some way to be preoccupied with it? I replied to them. Life's capital is very little and the work to be done is much. There are spheres one within the other like concentric circles, from the sphere of man's heart and stomach, and that of his home and body, and that of the quarter in which he lives and his town, and his country and land, and the globe and mankind, to the spheres of animate beings and the world. Each person may have duties in each of those spheres, but the most important and permanent of these are those in the smallest sphere, while his least important and temporary duties may be in the largest sphere. According to this analogy, the largest and smallest are in inverse proportion. But because of the attractiveness of the largest sphere, it causes the person to neglect his important, necessary duties in the small sphere, busying him with unnecessary, trivial, peripheral matters. It destroys the capital of his life for nothing. It kills his precious life on worthless things. Sometimes, the one following curiously the struggles of the war comes to earnestly support one side. He looks favorably on their tyranny, and becomes a partner in it. The answer to the first point. Yes, an event more momentous than this world war and a case more important than that of world supremacy has been opened over the heads of everyone and especially Muslims, so that if everyone had the wealth and power of the Germans and English and sense as well, they would unhesitatingly spend all of it to win that single case. The case is this. Relying on the thousands of promises and pledges of the universe's owner, who has disposal over it, hundreds of thousands of the most eminent of mankind, and uncounted numbers of its stars and guides, have unanimously given news, and some of them have actually seen that for everyone the case has opened by which they may either win, in return for belief, or lose, eternal properties as broad as the earth set with palaces and gardens. If they do not secure the document of belief, they will lose. And this age, many are losing the case because of the plague of materialism. One of the diviners of reality and investigators of truth observed in one place that out of 40 people who died, only a few won, the others lost. Can anything take the place of that lost suit, even rule over the whole world? Since we Risale-i Nur students know it would be pure lunacy to give up the duties which will win the case and abandon the wondrous lawyer who saves 90% from losing it and the task which the lawyer employs us in, and become involved with peripheral trivia as though we were going to remain in the world forever, we are certain that if each of us had intelligence 100 times greater than what we have, we still would use it only on this task. My new brothers here in this calamity of prison. You have seen the Risale-i Nur same as my old brothers, who entered here together with me. Citing them and thousands of students like them as witnesses, I say, I prove, and have proved, that it is the Risale-i Nur that wins that supreme case for 90 people out of 100, obtains for them certain, verified belief, which is the document and warrant that has won the case for 20,000 people in 20 years. It has proceeded from the miraculousness of the all-wise Quran and is the leading lawyer at this time. Although these 18 years my enemies and the atheists and materialists have duped some members of the government with their exceedingly cruel plots against me, and have had us sent to prison to have us done away with in the past as now, they have been able to cause harm to only 2 or 3 of the 130 pieces of equipment in the steel fortress of the Risale-i Nur. That means, to obtain it is sufficient for those who want to engage a lawyer. Also, fear not, the Risale-i Nur cannot be banned. With the exception of 2 or 3, its treatises are circulating freely among the deputies serving the government of the Republic, and its leaders. God willing, at some time happy governors and guards will distribute those lights to the prisoners, like bread and medicine, and so make the prisons into truly effective places of reform.